Okay, so today I am going to do a avocado drawing. I'm going to use Oil Pastel because I think it's one of those medias that you might have at home that you might not necessarily know how to use or what to do with it. So I think this will be quite a useful tutorial for you. Okay, I have got my series of oil pastels that I can see within the image that I'm going to be working from. So I'm going to draw a line across the bottom here. So it's going to be the bottom of them. There's going to be another line going across here. That's the top of them. So I'm already marking out very lightly. I would always go straight in with the oil pastel as well, not be tempted to draw it out in pencil first because you don't want those pencil lines showing through. So I've got my oval shape. Always best to work from your own images, but for the purpose of this tutorial I have got a secondary image off of the internet, but I would advise you to take your own photographs. So we've got the two halves there and middle sections. This is just a grey oil pastel that I'm using to plan where things are going to go. I'm not too worried about any other detail rather than that really. I've got my general shape. That could probably be a bit more in the middle. And I can figure a lot of this out as I'm going along. And I'm using this directional shading, which is thinking about the shape of the object that I'm drawing and continuing that motion around. And again, blending, overlapping the two colours together, bringing that round. Could probably afford to make my nut a bit bigger, I think, now looking at the... So as soon as I start to apply my colour, I can look again and reassess my drawing. And as long as I don't leave it too late, I can move things around as I'm working. Sometimes it's good to work in this way and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you want to really get that drawing right first, especially if you're shading with pencil, because once you've started shading all the detail with pencil and then you realise, oh, I put it in the wrong place, it's quite annoying. So I'm coming round now with my yellow. Bit of white there. Oh, this white situation is not good, is it? Once you've put your oil pastel on, I'll come back to that bit in a minute because there's a shadow there. Once you put your oil pastel on, it doesn't really like to be manipulated too much. Once it's down, you need to sort of leave it alone especially when we're pushing this hard. It doesn't like to be moved, manipulated. You can blend two colours in with each other, but anything else than that and it doesn't behave nicely. And you can see how the black and the brown have come together. And we're using, this is a basic sphere in the middle here, which again, we've had lots of practice of drawing spheres in school, and that's the reason why we do, is because you can see how they are in the world, in our natural world. We have all the shapes, and in our man-made world. Okay, I'm coming in with this more of a burnt sienna colour. Oh, another one. Okay, so I've reached a point now where I'm think I'm finished. I'm not too sure that they are a matching pair, but that gives you a flavour and a sense of how you would go about doing this. You can get some white spirit on a paintbrush and actually go over this using your directional shading and applying that white spirit over the top, and it actually turns the the oil pastels into a sort of oil paint. So it's a really good way to, if you're wanting to learn how to use oil paints, to have a kind of feel as to how they react with one another. The colours move with each other once they've had that terps added to them. So that's quite a nice technique. I don't have any at home to do that to this, but it's definitely something I'd want to do, just to smooth it out and to refine it and get rid of any of those white bits of paper that I can see showing, and it just means things blend together more. And I'm breaking the rules here by fiddling with it. Don't fiddle, leave it as it is. Okay.